The dragon's got an appetite for Pier and Toothy. They look delicious. Rift would be super annoying. It's a Rift, of course. That's why you attack the Simic decks. Spear of Leonidas. Double strike. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good.
Today on Commander Replay, we take another look at Mabel and get into some really fun battles with Sunscorch Regent. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Mabel Heir to Cragflame today. Let's take a look at this opener. 2 lands, Toma Ledge Oath. It ramps and it draws, but it does not make colored mana. I'm gonna mulligan that. That's too risky. 3 colorless lands is a lot. Don't love this hand. I might go to 6. Because War Elemental doesn't do much up front. Settle the Wreckage is kind of, yeah. This hand doesn't do a lot of late game stuff. Mulligan this one also. This is better. This has value. Keep this. Oh, not the War Elemental. I think it's got to be the War Elemental. That makes me sad. Love that card. Because this is game-winning amounts of card draw if we get things going. And being that we're a little light on cards because of the mulligan, it's going to be pretty necessary, I think. Yep, play the land and pass. We do actually need to catch a 3rd land before we're really safe. And I'm cheating a little bit. That could be late to the party. So, Mabel Heir to Cragflame. 3 mana for a 3/3. Other mice you control get +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, create a legendary colorless equipment artifact token with equipped creature gets +1/+1, has vigilance, trample, and haste equipped too. Keywords. All the keywords. So what we've done in this deck is we have put a bunch of red creatures in here that get insanely large. Like we saw the War Elemental that we put to the bottom, that's one of them. Null Sign's got a pretty lopsided power toughness. Gets the same job done. And then we give them trample and vigilance, and we just beat people over the head with it. It's very similar to the Aurelia Exemplar of Justice deck that I played a long time ago. Same concept. When you have easy access to trample in red, there's a really cool pool of cards that you can play. And in particular, saw a few of them in the game 1 that I filmed with this. Thunderblust, Scourge of Gyre Reach, Malignus, and Taurine Mauler all become really fun with trample. Fighter class is something to do, but play the planes. It's not the land we're looking for, but I guess we play the fighter class. Try to pull a thing out of the deck. Maybe get a little shuffle action going. This seems like a case for Mask of Memory. And oh boy, do we want to draw a land off the top. Today, playing a pickup game of Magic Online today. No Patreons. Take a look at what our opponents are playing. We've got Ezio Auditore de Friends. 2 mana for a 3/2 with Menace. Assassins you control have free running black, and whenever it deals combat damage to your player, you may pay Wooburg. If that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player loses the game. KO played this one once. There's Demonic Tutor. Yep, don't love that. Arcane Signet for opponent. Sunscorch Regent is not that land. Ouch. Play the Mask of Memory. We're going to be behind now. Soul Ring. Yep, probably with the Demonic Tutor. At a wall, Breaker of Chains coming in. Reveal the top 6. Put an assassin, pirate, or vehicle from among them into your hand. Rest on the bottom. Chromatic Lantern. Pier coming in. Yep. Take another shuffle. Elvish Mystic. Ancient Tomb gets us caught up. Like that. Play the Ancient Tomb. Play the Bitterthorn. And the one left over, we can put the mask trigger on the, we can put the mask on the Germ. Yeah, love that. Alright, we just need to get an attack off with it, and we can solve all of our value problems. Avalyn de Grand Pré. 4 mana, 3/3 Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control deals with Death Touch deals combat damage to your player, put that many +1/+1 counters on the creature. Has Disguise. And looks like the commander coming in also. Opponent's going to do some poking. Do need someone to like not have blockers for the mask trigger. I feel like we might be seeing this soon. Pearl Medallion. And there's their commander. Toothy coming in. I do think that if opponent has all 1/1s, we might be able to get this Mask of Memory through. Choosing themselves. Good news too, there's a decent number of sources of lifelink in the deck, because Ancient Tomb can burn you down real quick. And the fact that we're trying to make big creatures with lifelink gains all that life back in a hurry. Sunscorch can also gain us some life too. There's the land. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go to combat, and let me see. Is there anything we need to do first? We could get the spear and then, like, double loop. That's interesting. I might hold off on that, because I don't really know what I want to discard is the issue. Attack the Pier and Toothy opponent, because they have all 1/1s, so they might not block this. Let's get a land. Use the ability. Plain, well, there is a lot of red in this deck, so the next one we should definitely get a mountain. Probably should have got a mountain with that one, to be completely honest. Yep, no blocks as we suspected. Love that. There's the mask trigger. Use the ability. Toma Legends and Cassandra. Okay. Yeah, definitely discarding the Null Spine now, because it's just hard to get to. It's definitely a late game play, and we've got other sources of card draw now, so we're okay-ish. Get the Sun home. We have 5 mana. I think we get Sunscorch Regent, because it gains life back. It's a big threat, and we're at the part of the game where opponents are probably just about to start casting 2 spells a turn, so it should get big in a hurry, and then we have a big threatening thing, and I feel very good about that. So, yeah, cast Sunscorch, pass like that. We'll kind of see what our next turn looks like. We do need to find a land at some point. We do have a fair number of legendaries, so at some point that Honor-Worn Shaku is going to be a good idea too. So legendary, the equipment is a legendary. This and these two, so that's 4. Ooh, that's 4 extra mana. Maybe we should have kept the Null Spine, I don't know. Still, we need to get all those things in play, and that's going to take a minute to do. Yep, first counter on Sunscorch. Got another assassin, free running. Jacob Fry. It partners. Evie Fry. Sunscorch. Attacking into the Rin and Seri opponent. They seem to have it out for the Rin and Seri. Works for me. We'll just let them duke it out. I'm thinking we try to take on the Pier and Toothy. I've lost to that deck before. It gets out of hand really quickly. I am worried they might wheel us, and this is a solid hand, right? And I feel like if we wheel, our hand's probably going to get worse. We're probably going to find that pocket of lands that we haven't seen all game. So, doesn't have the life condition for the lose the game trigger. Death Touch put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, so some things getting pumped up. Opponent has a 3/2 and a 2/1 as a blocker. Probably wouldn't let that mask trigger through again, but... Divining Top. Card that has the potential to make Sunscorch really big. Fire Diamond. Back to 40. Got off of the damage from Ancient Tomb. Gained it all back with Sunscorch. I miss playing this card. I haven't played it in a long time. If you're not playing dragons, it's the type of card that's like, it's tricky to justify now. It gives you life, but it doesn't generate cards or mana the way you need a lot of things to do. And, like, it takes a little while to charge up. Like, it's good damage, but it's not game-ending. And just, you know, the way synergies are now, it is hard to justify this in just your average combat deck. But this is a great home for it because of the Trample, Haste, Vigilance. They're going to take a look with the Divining Top. Kasali Pride Mage, that can get annoying. They don't have any mana left yet. But if we don't attack them, we might be okay. Does make me nervous about trying to upgrade fighter class, though. A lot of artifacts in our hand. a lot of artifacts. Opponent draws. Toothy gets a counter. 2, I think. Yep, 2. Rhystic Study. Yup. Kami of Whispered Hopes. If one or more counters will be put on a permanent you control, put that many +1. Oh my. And that's the one that makes a ton of mana. Okay, yeah. So we're probably gonna try and do some stuff to the Pier and Toothy opponent. This has got 11 power. Doubling it is a lot of damage, but plus double strike plus mask trigger is a lot of card draw. Ooh, nice. Opponent's gonna beside you the Rhystic Study. Love that. Rhystic Study down. They get a land. Austere Command is interesting. What do small creatures do? It leaves Toothy, leaves Rin and Seri, leaves one over here. So each opponent will have one thing left. Maybe we wait on that. I think the play is upgrade fighter class, move all this stuff to the Sunscorch. Oh, that cost 1. Alright, well, just the mask then. Just the mask. I'm not going to have any blockers, which I'm not thrilled about. Use ability. Get a mountain that we so badly need. Mask trigger. Use ability. Ooh, Sajiri Shelter is interesting. What are we getting rid of? The spear we can get out of the graveyard, right? Yeah, so we can discard the spear. Play the land. Definitely glad we caught that. Crack the land. Get Plateau. 4 mana left. Maybe we just get our commander so we have a blocker? Part of me does want Tome of Legends first, though. I guess we can just do the attack thing with it. Yeah, let's get our commander so we have a blocker. Can we get the... I don't think we can get the Honor Worn. No, our colors are too messed up to do that. Well, the other thing we can do... Oh, I know what we can do. Okay, we can get... Well, we do have to... Yeah, let's get our commander, because there's a chance that Toothy gets so big that it just comes and kills us. So we make Cragflame. We'll equip it to our commander, and we'll move... we have one left, so we'll move the Bitterthorn over to the Sunscorch and get rid of the token. Pass like that. So we have a blocker now. It was a choice between that or leaving up Sajiri Shelter. You know, it's one or the other. I feel like having a blocker just keeps people away a little bit better. There's a lot of, like, small stuff over here. There's a few things over here, so just being wide open like that doesn't make me feel super great. Draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a creature card, target creature you control can't be blocked. Oh, God. That's disgusting. Yeah, the Assassin's Tribal deck is a little scary. Because KO played something very similar, and he was having a lot of success, too, in that game. Nearly killed us. I think he miscounted it or something like that. Ardestia. Island Walk 4/3. If an Assassin crewed it, draw a card, and it becomes an Assassin in addition to its other types. Yeah, seems decent. Also now, so, like, I mean, we need to survive with this board, but this is on 13. Someone's probably going to cast a spell. And if they do, this with double strike on there is big enough to kill the Toothy player, which makes me happy. Opponent's going to attack us with the Menace one. Okay. Yep, not a lot we can do about the Menace. Send this one over to the Toothy opponent. And another one into us. Yeah, I don't really want to trade that with my commander. First strike is the thing that's missing. Yeah, maybe I do need to get the white archetype in here. I talked about it a little bit in the first game, but yeah, I do think the white archetype's probably going to be a pretty good idea, just because when you have big stuff, even this with first strike, that does a lot. So, you know, this one doesn't hit us if we have first strike, and you can kind of just you can bully people. You can bully people with first strike, trample, vigilance, haste. So in the hierarchy of keywords, I generally think that first strike is probably one of the worst evergreen keywords. However, when you mix it with other keywords, particularly like vigilance or trample, it gets significantly better, right? It's a type of thing where the sum is greater than the parts, because vigilance by itself is decent, but I wouldn't say game breaking in any sense. And first strike is all right. And certainly not game-breaking, but when you have, first strike vigilance, it's a really good feeling in combat, because, again, you can kind of just bully people. You can get your attacks in, they probably don't have profitable blocks. Generally speaking, depending on how big the creature is, it's hard for them to attack back into you, especially in the earlier parts of the game. You know, if there's a Galta on board, it's a little bit different, but until that happens, you can really kind of, just pressure people a lot, which I like. Royal Assassin! Oh, no. Oh, no. Please don't have haste. How does free running work? Our time on Sunscorch Regent could be limited as a result of that. Well, actually, we can move the thing over and give it vigilance so it doesn't tap. I like the sound of that. I do like the sound of that. We do have 14 power on there, like we talked about. Divining Top. I kind of hope opponent either uses the Kasali or taps out so that they don't mess up our double strike plans. I wasn't going to include this initially, but Cragflame is legendary, and whenever a creature you control with a legendary equipment attached to it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's just really easy card draw for this deck. Plus the fact that this finds the spear anyway. So, I mean, yeah. It's just such easy card draw for this deck. How do you not run it? And the little bit that I've used the spear has been very good. Double strike late just ends people. I haven't valued with it as much. There's a Harmonize for opponent. But, you know, there are certainly times, there was a moment early in this game where discard 2 cards might have looked really good. At this point, we're sitting okay. Do have, a lot of nice things in hand I don't really want to get rid of, but Coalition Relic. Recast the Divining Top. Yep, there it is. Looks like they're holding up one on the Pride Mage, though. We're 5 spells away from not even needing double strike on this, and that's really good, because even if they shoot it, then we're okay. Also, we could just use the Sunholm, too, if it comes to that. Do need to worry a little bit about the Assassins. They're down to 1 card, thankfully. Everything back into the Assassin's opponent. Love that. Love that. Although, they don't have... Did I miss anything in chat? No. You know, normally you would do this if you have a board wipe. They are out of mana, so they're not going to have a board wipe. I don't know that Toothy's about to cast a board wipe, so, tapping out there is a little bit risky. Maybe it's a product of they're having trouble blocking, and they're just we're just going to send it, but unless they have a Blasphemous Act. Oh, it could be a Blasphemous Act. Nope. They left themselves wide open. It's a risky thing to do. Toothy. Coalition Relic. They tap the Coalition Relic, which means we don't have to worry about the Pride Mage anymore. They put the charge counter on there. Kami is going to trigger. It hasn't made itself bigger yet, which is good. Once it does, though, it's a really big problem. D-Manny has got me with this a number of times in his Halana and Elena Partners deck. It's just you cast this, and then you cast that, and then it has a bunch of counters on it, and you make so much extra mana. Rancor. There's the Trample. Archetype of Aggression might be... If we don't just kill them, it might be smart to get Archetype in. Or that. Sunscorch Regent. Fairy Mastermind. Importantly, it has Flying. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. You can make each player draw a card. Does increase the amount of damage we have to do just a little bit. Toothy's going to go over to the Assassin's deck. Love that. Love that they're not picking on us. I personally would have swung back into us for the hit that we put on them last turn. Also, you know. Or maybe they're just thinking like, oh, don't anger the big dragon. You know. The dragon's got an appetite for Pier and Toothy. They look delicious. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh no, return target creature to its hand. Okay, they had a plan. Yep, they had a plan. That being the case, I think we just nuked the board. Doesn't look like a lot of... that could be a protection spell, which would be bad. Only one card, though. They haven't cast it, which, you know, it still could be that. Deflecting Swat, where was that last turn? How much mana do we actually have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2... get this. Use Ancient Tomb. Tome of Legends. Ooh, we did not use our mana properly to Ancient Tomb. Or to Austere Command. With that being the case, might be time... Whoops. I thought we had enough mana to make all that work, but I just kind of blanked. Okay. Oh, yep, free equip this here. Actually, if we catch a land off the top, I think we can cast it. Okay, that works. Opponent's life totals are low, and ours is in pretty good shape, actually. Yeah, keep attacking Pier and Toothy. Keep them nice and low. Bitterthorn and Tome of Legends. Use the ability. Get a mountain. That is one problem with Sunscorch Regent. It will eat removal because it kind of has to. Like, it will just kill you if you let it sit out there. So protecting it is going to be a real good idea. Probably need, like, a touch more protection in this deck. There's a Mask of Memory trigger. Use the ability. There's the land we're looking for. Rayav is really good. What are we getting rid of? Archetype, maybe? Yeah, I think Archetype. Opponent will draw a card. Kami and Pier trigger, yep. Play the land. Austere Command. All creatures, looks like the play. Hope that one card is not a protection spell. Nice! All the creatures get blown up. Love that. And even though opponents will get to rebuild first, we have haste because of Cragflame. God, haste is so powerful for stuff like this. Send our commander back to the command zone. But we're doing well with lands now because we've had a number of turns of Bitterthorn. And so we've actually dug out of the hole that we put ourselves into very early. 9 total lands for 10 mana. So yeah, we've ramped the lands. Got that under control, which is nice. Opponent does draw up to 16 cards, but luckily they're limited on mana. Hopefully they don't find a max hand spell. No max hand spell card. Because I mean, they could probably cast like 2 or 3 things and then have to discard a whole bunch. And the fact, like again, we have haste. Cassandra has haste naturally. This gives things double strike. Yeah, we're poised to still do some stuff, even though the board's wiped and we don't actually have anything in play. Ezio, crew the thing, yep. I mean, that almost has to come our way. Opponents are at 18, 26, 17. We're at 39. Oh, no, they don't like the Pier and the Toothy either. Okay. Yeah, I'll get 4 more damage in there. Really cut down the distance that you have to go on that. I mean, when in doubt, attack the Simic deck. Just have more... yeah, I mean, plus they have 16 cards in hand. So, you know, Simic's just going to have more ways to beat you than most other things. What's final mode on this one? Whenever a creature you control attacks, up to 1 target creature blocks this combat if able. Never really get to use that mode that much. It kind of comes down a little too late. Like, early in the game, that could be something useful if you want to get rid of, like, that little Kami thing or something that was over there. That's, like, nice for that. But it could actually be useful in this deck because something like War Elemental could be huge with Trample. Like, you'll still probably have either lethal damage or, like, a really big hit plus being able to kill whatever. But, again, the mana to get there is rather steep. Feast and Famine almost required for that kind of thing, or you need to be, like, out of stuff to do. Most ideal would have been if we could have also cast Sunscorch, but we definitely didn't have 5 extra mana, because then when people are trying to rebuild, you're getting all those counters on there. Rin and Seri back. Ooh. Ginny Faye, Jetmir's second. If you would create 1 or more tokens, make that many plus a 2/2. Or a 3/1. Yeah, okay. 17 cards at hand for opponent. Only 6 mana. See what they've got. 7 mana now. Rift would be super annoying. It's a Rift, of course. That's why you attack the Simic decks first. That is why you attack the Simic decks first. Although the timing at which they're casting it actually kind of puts us back in a good tempo spot. Opponent have protection for that? No, they're just Divining Top. The Rift makes Sunscorch Regent, again, really good. His opponents try to recast all of their stuff. So we're probably almost definitely going to want that to happen. There is also a world... Cragflame's going to go down, so we could get Cassandra... and Cassandra could have a spear on it. That's still only 4 damage. It's not like the end of the world. Ooh. Opponent's going to return the Arcane Signet to their hand with Atwara Soaring City. We may be in jeopardy of having to discard to hand size on our turn. Yeah, we'll be up to 11 cards when we draw. We hit the slow part of the game. 2 board wipes in a row. Austere followed by Cyclonic Rift. Ah, and then opponent scoops. Ah, the salt scoop. Opponent's having some bad blood. Down they go. Okay. Venerable Warsinger. Do we have any creatures in here? We have we have the archetype. Okay. Well, I do think it needs to be Honor Worn and the Sunscorch Regent. Oh, Magic Online games. Play the Sajiri Glacier. Get a card out of our hand. Cast the Sunscorch Regent. Oh, hey, we're down to 8 cards. We can possibly get under hand size here. Get the Venerable Warsinger. How often do you get to play that one? It's a weird card. It's like, it looks really good. In reality, it's harder to use than you would really like. Because you gotta pump it up usually to get most things back. In this case, we are primed to get the archetype. But, yeah, it's always a little trickier than you want it to be. But if it does go off, I mean, that effect can be game-winning. So, it's like, I mean, the thing we could do. A thing we could do is if we hit someone big, like if this gets huge, then we could just, like, draw our deck with Nullspine. We'd have to probably discard a lot of things, which I'm not thrilled about. But, Calidus Assassin. Enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except as when this creature enters, destroy up to one other target creature with the same name. No! Not the Sunscorch Regent. Down it goes. Okay. Opponent has a Sunscorch, which is not great for us. That is not great. There might be a price to pay for that move, though. I guess we don't have, like, that much damage anymore. That was the bulk of our damage right there. But what could we do? We go like fighter class, get a Feast and Famine, try to get Cassandra, and yeah, that's all pretty nasty. And they get the vehicle back. Oh, we could reanimate the Sunscorch also. Yeah, that's not an awful idea. Commander Sphere, Sunscorch, Coalition Relic, Divining Top, Sunscorch. I think we have exactly enough mana to make a very ridiculous play on our turn. Hopefully I don't miscount. I'm going to recount it again. There's an extra land. It's going to get a lot easier with that. We should have enough now, for sure. Fighter class. Sunscorch. Search for an equipment. Oh, the Reaver Cleaver is pretty nuts too, huh? But yeah, no, I think it's just going to be a Sword of Feast and Famine. Upgrade Fighter class. Cast Feast and Famine. Cast Cassandra. Trigger. Get the Spear of Leonidas from our graveyard. Comes into play. Equip to the Venerable Warsinger. Equip the Feast and Famine to the Warsinger. Let's get the Mask of Memory for good measure. Yeah, free equip that too. We do have, one, possibly 2 untaps with the Honor Worn, but I don't think that makes a significant difference right here. With the Bitterthorn, it could be cool. We don't have enough to equip the Bitterthorn, though. So, okay, we'll just go to combat like that. Send both of these into the Assassin opponent. Spear of Leonidas, double strike. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good. Remember how I was saying this thing's tricky to use? This might be the perfect moment for it. There's some triggers, 4 different triggers. Venerable Warsinger, get a Sunscorch Regent, Mask of Memory, Sword of Feast and Famine, and we'll draw a card with the Cassandra ability. Taurine Mauler, Feast and Famine, and they discard. That's the rough one. They were low on cards too. Down to 2 cards for them. Mask of Memory. We draw more cards. Kazul is interesting. Discard Taurine Mauler, I guess, because we can just pull it out. Use the ability. Sunscorch, into play. Let the double strike damage finish. Same thing again. Archetype or Taurine Mauler? Taurine Mauler could be good for the fling. Use the ability. Oh, we have a Feast and Famine trigger right there. Okay, let's float all that mana. Haven't actually figured out if we're going to do anything with it or not. That is kind of large. Mask of Memory. Use the ability. Neheb and a Signet. Yeah, I don't think we really need a Signet, honestly. Draw another card. Odric. Oh my. That's a good card. Nothing to do really at instant speed with the mana, so we'll let that go. And now what do? We have the creatures. We need to protect them as best we can. We really only have, the deflecting swat, so not like full protection, which means probably don't want to like super overcommit with creatures, which means I think Tome of Legends. Draw with Tome. On the other hand, opponents don't have that many cards. Maybe we get our commander back right here because the haste is kind of good. We're mana positive on the Nykthos, so I guess we do that for red. 5 red mana. Cast our commander. 1 left over. Tome of Legends. Make another Cragflame. That was a turn. Oh my. Put this on Sunscorch, I guess? And we'll pass like that. Leave our mana up for effects and things. Again, yeah, like if someone rips like a Farewell or something like that, I want to leave some stuff in our hand. Even Austere Command would get us. We don't really have protection at the moment. Ezio coming back. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Sunscorch, Taurine Mauler trigger. Yep. Got the Sunscorch and Taurine Mauler combo going. I like Sunscorch because it's not a May. You have to click yes to the Taurine every time. You can set it to auto, but it just takes more steps. Opponent crews the Ardestia. Did they send the big thing at us? No, they're going to hold it back. Yeah, I mean, whatever goes into that, we're probably going to lose. Might not really be a way around that. But, except, I mean, Odric should be game-winning if no one has removal. Because Spear gives us Double Strike, and Team Double Strike with all the other keywords going on, Vigilance, Trample, Flying, Haste, that's kind of ridiculous. Does combat damage to a player, you may return from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, another creature coming back. Add a wall coming back, yep. Sunscorch and Taurine Mauler. Opponent's got 2 mana up, 4 cards in hand. They could have some interaction. Coalition Relic, trigger. Pearl Medallion, 2 Sunscorches and a Taurine Mauler. Rin and Siri, 2 Sunscorches and a Taller. Ginny Faye coming back, all the stuff triggering. King of the Pride, yep. Gonna make a 2/2, yep. And a 1/1. Brings it back to our turn. Play the Minas Tirith. We'll ham it just a teeny bit. Ancient Tomb for red mana into the Nykthos. 6 red mana. Get Neheb, Sunscorch. When it's back to 21, it's actually, was that 11 counters on that? 10, 11, something like that? Yeah, they gained some life back. That's for sure. Cast the Odric. Odric should do it. Spreading all those keywords across the team just seems game ending here. We'll go to combat like that. Odric trigger. Oh, we don't have Double Strike yet. I should have cast the Rayev. Oh, whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. That sucks. Oh, well. I mean, worst case, we can just fling something if we have to. Should, like, actually count this. That one will have Double Strike, so that'll be 10. They can block that one. Yeah, I forgot the Spear doesn't give Double Strike as a static, so we did need to cast Rayev right there. Toma Legend, Spear, gain Double Strike. One's going to charge the Coalition Relic. Opponent just scoops. And this should do it. Because we do have a fling after all this damage resolves. Opponent goes down to 12. Oh, we're 1 short? Oh, no. We need to get 1 more power on our... We can do it. We can do it. Neheb, loot the land. Other land. Looks like we already played a land. We need to get the Bitterthorn, Living Weapon. 1 to equip. And then we cast a fling. It's rare that I ever do this, because I just don't play fling decks very much. So, Kazul's Fury at opponent's face. This should do it. Down they go. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, 2 games in the books with Mabel. And so far, I've been really impressed with what I'm seeing. Just, there's a lot to do with Vigilance, Trample, Haste, plus the fact that it's a 3/3 by itself, and when you put the equipment on it, it's a 4/4. That's just that's a really good body in that early stage of the game, and I've noticed that I've been able to like bully people around a little bit at that point. But yeah, the strategy has been good of just play big creatures and give them trample, and that's worked out really well. Spear of Leonidas has been insane. As we talked about, Cassandra's really good card draw for this deck in particular, but also just kind of by itself. Honestly, the key to the game, though, was getting that early Bitterthorn and getting the early Mask of Memory and having those stick for a number of turns while we climbed back into it. So we missed the land drop, but we were first in the turn order, which helps offset that just a little bit. We caught the Ancient Tomb, which got us back to parity, and then with the Bitterthorn, we were able to get more and more lands into play, and it just kind of sat there the whole time, which was so good for us. So that was the key to get us out of that early jam in the beginning, and then from there, yeah, then it was a game largely about Sunscorch Regent for a while, and just how much damage we could do with that. Probably do need to get a little more protection in the deck. Swiftfoot Boots might be a good idea. Mother of Ruins. Just keep your big things in play. Keeping your big things in play is a really good idea. So that's something I'll have to tinker with a little bit because I have no idea what I want to cut. But maybe Wildfire Devils. Cut Wildfire Devils. I like it, but it's more of a cute card than it is a great card. Mother of Ruins is probably a real good idea here. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
So recently I've been working on a secret project that's really cool, but it's also going to be horrendously expensive to get filmed. So I greatly appreciate anything you guys are able to contribute to the Patreon in order to fund that video, and I hope to be able to share it soon. And of course, thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome.